Okay, great. Thank you all for joining us tonight for the June 16th Board of Supervisors meeting. Everyone, please rise for the pledge. I know, well, you have to sit down first. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
you. Okay, I wanted to announce a few of our executive sessions. The Board of Supervisors met in executive on May 28th to discuss a personnel matter and specific police arbitration. The Board of Supervisors met on May 29th to discuss a personnel matter and specific police operations. And again, today, before you all arrived, we had an additional executive session regarding personnel and specific police operations. So we are going to share that with everyone. And let you know again that this meeting is being recorded for broadcast. Now, I understand that there may be an issue finding some things on our website. I don't know if anyone had any difficulties, but we made some enhancements to our website, which is really very nice, what it's supposed to be, that everything has a check mark and you can see whether there's a, all of the financial, the video, all, everything is marked. But some people are having, like myself and Bernie, are having problems pulling it up because you need to clear your cookies out. And Tommy's gonna see what we could do to take care of that. I think if we go back to our IT person, they can fix it so that we don't have to work on our end. So I apologize if anyone had trouble finding the information, but it's going to be better in the long haul. And one more thing I wanted to bring up is Cindy Clark is here from our Historical Resource Commission, and she would like to make a quick announcement.
Thank you, Dana. So there was a birthday party for the Cedar Hall Bridge last month on May 18th. And I want to thank the township manager who was so helpful in getting the road closures that were needed for the event. And also the police that set up the barricades so that we could gather, and the supervisors for supporting it. It was attended by over 60 people. Beautiful day, lovely setting, several speakers, and one of the speakers was one of the commissioners from Chester County who presented this citation, which I'd like to hand over and convey to the township, and I'll just read it. The County of Chester citation, the Board of Commissioners of the County of Chester recognizes the Cedar Hall Bridge on the celebration of its 175th anniversary and its status as the oldest covered bridge in Chester County. The red wooden covered Cedar Hall Bridge with a burr arch truss has been standing since 1850, crossing over French Creek and connecting both East and West Vincent townships. As the oldest covered bridge in Chester County, this historic landmark was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1973. 175 years after it was built, the Cedar Hall Bridge remains an enduring testament to Chester County's rich history. The Board of Commissioners, County of Chester, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, spotlights Cedar Hall Bridge on its 175th anniversary and salutes its long-standing place in the history of Chester County.
Thank you very much. It was a fun party too. I want to find another reason to close the bridge. That's awesome. Thank you. So now Austin Russell, Sergeant Russell, if you would like to come up for the police.
Hello, this is the May police report for 2025. For training, we had the police defensive firearms training. Summary totals are number of calls for service, 180, number of crimes investigated, 5, number of arrests, 2, DUI, harassment, and disorderly conduct, number of traffic stops, 20, number of accidents investigated, 9.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Sergeant? Okay, we'll move on. And we do have the fire company EMS report. Jeff, are you going to do that for us, our Deputy Fire Marshal, Jeff Kine? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. The Lowest Corner Fire Company report for May of 2025. For the month, the department had a total of 61 calls. We were in service a total of 31 hours and 22 minutes, and our total man hours were 128 hours and 41 minutes. Our calls specific to West Vincent Township, we had 35 total. We had two BLS auto accidents, one auto accident with entrapment, 2 building fires, 2 automatic alarms, 4 trees and wires, 1 notification for the fire chief for a burning issue, and 1 elevator rescue. The department also responded to 22 EMS incidents as well. Our average responders per fire call were 5.13. Our average responders for QRS calls were 2.1. And our total training hours for the month were 299 hours.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And also, if I could just introduce Chief Taylor back here from Westwood EMS. He'd like just to come up and just introduce himself real quick.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
I was going to wait till the end, but thank you, Chief. Hi, my name is Evan Taylor. I'm the Chief of West End EMS out of Phoenixville. We only service half of your municipality. It's ourselves in Euclid, but we've never really been in front of you. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to introduce myself, reach out, and if there's anything that we can do for you, let us know. And then Mr. Bryan, I'll be in contact at some point. I was hoping to earlier than this, but I apologize for bombarding you guys like this. But if there's anything we can do, Jeff has my contact information where I'll make it available to you guys.
Great. Thank you both for your service
for
to
having me.
our residents. Thank you. And we have some exciting news from the finance department. If you want to mention that, Tommy?
Yes, the Township Finance Director started that position 2 weeks ago today. Her name is Susan Gurton, and she brings to the township 20 years of accounting experience and considerable HR experience. She has a bachelor's degree in accounting from Rutgers University and a human resources certification from Villanova University. Her position will be overseeing, of course, the entire finance department. She'll also be managing the township's insurance packages and also managing HR functions for the township.
Thank you. Do any questions at all? Comments? Next up is the Police Works Department, and that is on the notes that we have on the website. I know that I've seen our guys very, very busy working alongside Pico, taking trees down. Is there anything else you need to add to that, or just basically it's on the site? Okay. Does anyone have any questions on that report?
I have a
on
question
up.
on the finance department. You want me to wait or you want me to? Was that the whole finance report?
No, that the finance report is listed on the website, but
Okay.
we're just talking, he was just talking about the new person that we hired. So certainly if you would like to, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, do you say you want to accept the bills list or is that step out now?
That's 4I.
Because I would comment on the bills list. I would like to ask, mainly, I guess our accountants have gotten 3 payments in 5 days or something, 3,500, 5,000, 2,500. What are they doing?
They're doing the audit.
Well, one of them was from last year, was for the 2023 audit. And I believe the other 2 payments are for the 2024 audit. So they're currently in the 2024 audit right now.
Okay, do they have a due date for that? Are they gonna get something?
I know they want to get it done as soon as possible, but I'm not aware of a due date.
I think we're
Susan
giving
might
them
know.
I think we're giving them a little bit of latitude because they really hustled to get us through 2 back-to-back audits, but they have us in their sights and they're working hard to get it done. So
I would think you're going to see it soon because they asked me for my attorney letter, solicitor letter. which they usually do that at the end, and I got that 2 weeks ago. So it tells me that they're nearing the end of their audit. So I would assume it's in the next month or less.
I
Do
can understand all that. Thank you.
Do you mind, if you have more questions on the
Yes, I have
expenditures, because we
questions on-
do have that coming up towards the end.
You want me to wait after buildings or?
It's 4I on the agenda,
It's in the action items now.
Okay,
yeah. But if you had some questions about the finance department, that's what I was thinking. You had a question about how that was
okay.
changing. Thank you very much. And then again, also, the building and zoning department, that report was also posted. I don't know if you have anything additional to add to that. Do we have any questions or concerns about what was posted? And we'll move along. Okay, next up is, our May 19th meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions from the audience on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And I'm going to turn it over to Dave now for a public hearing on the Verizon franchise agreement.
Thank you. So just as Dana stated, the township has an agreement with Verizon and also with Comcast. Being considered now is the Verizon agreement. As part of the process, we're required to have a public hearing to allow the residents, taxpayers of the township to speak about Verizon if you like. And I have a statement I'd like to read. Good evening. This is a public hearing of the Township Board of Supervisors regarding cable franchise renewal for Westwood Township. This public hearing is held pursuant to Section 626 of the Federal Cable Act, which sets forth the process for franchise renewal. The township's current franchise with Verizon is within the industry norm renewal window. The township is beginning the process of renewing the franchise. This public hearing is part of a preliminary portion of the franchise renewal in which the township reviews the cable operator's past performance and identifies the township's future cable-related community needs. As such, as part of this public hearing, we invite comments from any citizens who wish to speak regarding either or both of the aforementioned subjects. Franchise renewal is the best opportunity for municipalities to assert their rights with respect to the cable operator and to obtain important benefits in return for granting the cable operator the right to use the public rights of way. These benefits include state-of-the-art cable system now and in the future, strong customer service standards, free services to community facilities, better reporting requirements from the cable operators, maximum franchise fees, public educational and governmental PEG, also known as PEG channels, PEG capital support funding if desired, legal protections of rights of way, and better mechanisms to enforce the franchise agreement. These are just some of the potential benefits available through franchise renewal. Citizens may address these items or any other cable-related items that are important to them. We now open up the hearing for citizen comments. That's a statement I need to read as part of the franchise hearing tonight. So anyone who wishes to make any comments about Verizon, if you have Verizon as a cable provider, now is the time to do it, good or bad. We have to open it up to the floor and see if anyone has anything they'd like to say. All right, I hear none, see none. So with that, we close that part of the matter, and that satisfies that requirement on the Cable Act.
And you're up again for the public hearing on ordinance 216-2025, the illuminated and digital signs.
All right, on the board's agenda tonight, again, is consideration of changes to the zoning ordinance to allow and provide for digital and electronic signs, illuminated signs. A ordinance has been proposed and it's been advertised and it's in the packet. Essentially what this ordinance does is provides for definitions and regulations with respect to certain types of signs that are not currently in the township zoning ordinance. Specifically, dealing with illuminated signs or lighted signs, and the other is dealing with digital signs. So the section pertaining to illuminated signs allows for signs to be illuminated if they are in the commercial, industrial, and municipal districts with respect to only non-residential uses. And it provides, if you could read the ordinance, provides for specific regulations as to how signs may be lighted and in what direction. It talks about if there's any backlit signs, how they can be lit, what's allowed and what's not allowed with respect to lighting of a sign. Digital signs, or as we all understand them to be the LED signs that you've seen, they also will be allowed only in commercial, industrial, and municipal districts. And again, there are regulations that we're proposing in this ordinance with respect to controlling digital signs in the township in those areas where they're allowed in those zoning districts. For instance, again, not allowed for only allowed for non-residential uses. The display messages have to be lit for a minimum of 8 seconds, so you don't have rolling and scrolling digital signs. When a digital sign changes from one message to the other, they have to do it within 1 second. So again, you're not having rolling and scrolling ongoing digital displays, but actually signs that are being displayed. Signs must be equipped with automatic day/night dimming to reduce illumination intensity, depending on the hour of the day and the type of sunlight there is. They must be equipped with automatic shut-off in case of failure or error, which would cause the sign to project full white. So if there's some error and it's flashing or on its most intense brightness, there must be a mechanism to shut that down. All signs must comply with applicable construction and electrical codes. That's pretty much it. The ordinance also provides for a definition of what is a backlit sign and a definition for what is a digital sign. So that is the proposed ordinance. Now is the opportunity for anyone in the public who has questions or like to make comments about this proposed change in the zoning ordinance can do that now. Okay. Yes.
I'm not seeing anything about size.
Size would be further regulated in a separate section. Yeah, so this is only dealing with the actual
That's okay.
type of sign, but not the size. The size is
There is already a size regulation.
yes,
It's
yes.
not changing.
Not changing the size.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else have like to make a comment, or have a question? All right, with that, I say we can close the hearing.
I did just want to ask,
Yeah.
you know, if any of these would need to go to the zoning hearing board, or would every one of these have to go to it, or does it?
No.
area?
Illuminated signs are conditional uses, so they would go for board supervisors. The digital are special exceptions. to go from the zoning
Go to
hearing.
hearing board, right.
Hi there, Julia Brendel. I guess my question is, if it passes, obviously, we know that we have a problem right now at the horse show grounds. How quickly would we be able to get something approved if we pass this tonight? Because we don't have a sign right now.
Well, are you in?
Yeah, well, we're at the horse show grounds. We're in that, we're within the planned bit or plan, whatever it is. We're in there. But how quickly could we get something pushed through? Because we lost our sign last Sunday in a traffic accident. So we're going to need to get something sooner than later. What's our time frame to get something approved? Illuminated with digital, if we can do it.
Yeah, talking about going to the zoning hearing board.
So we would have to, how long does that take?
You can submit an application to the zoning hearing board tomorrow.
Okay,
Then it's processed in accordance with the NPC, and there are legal notices required to be published. But generally speaking, the zoning hearing would take place about 4 to 6 weeks after an application is received.
Okay.
And that's driven by the legal ads that are required to be published, physical posting, mailing to neighbors, and so forth.
okay.
Julia, so I've heard about the accident and your signs gone. can it be fixed and put up again on a
No.
temporary basis? So
Mm-mm.
you're gonna have, no.
We need a new sign regardless.
Right, but
So we can move forward and we can purchase for about $3,500 a new, not digital, not illuminated or anything like that, or we can wait and hopefully get something approved that would be the long-term plan.
is it destroyed that much?
Yeah.
It can't be fixed. Huh?
Yes.
When the police were, I understand, were allowing you to utilize their electronic sign,
Mhm.
the dog show and.
I mean, we could do something like that, but we don't want to use their sign all summer long. We would need to rent something in order to replace it. And it would be something digital as well.
I have to say, we're not.
It was helpful, wonderful that they allowed us to do that for the show this past weekend, because I was concerned that the dog show people might be upset that we didn't have something, but
We're not really accustomed to the horse show, like wanting us to push something through.
I know. I'm just saying for time, like, so that we know what we're reasonably looking at. We're looking at 6 weeks potentially to get approval. And the sign guy's like, we don't do anything until you get a permit. So, and that's 6 weeks turnaround there. So we're looking at 3 months before we would have a
To
sign.
give you a time.
6 weeks. He said, we don't do anything until you have the permit. Okay. That's all
Okay.
kind of what I wanted to know. All right.
It's approved. I guess that's, do we have any other questions? No, I guess we need to vote on this.
Entertain a motion to approve the ordinance as prepared.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay, so now we're off to public hearing ordinance 217-2025, which relates to stopped intersections. And I want to thank our manager, Tommy Ryan, for identifying the many stop signs we have that were not really fully enforceable.
Not
So
enough. Yeah, so we can, the next matter, is an ordinance as Dan has indicated, there are a number of stop signs in the township that have been erected without proper authority. And there wasn't an ordinance adopted that allows for the stop sign. And there's several that are contained within the ordinance. So what this is doing is making those stop signs that are there legit. If there is an enforcement action, someone runs a stop sign now, there is enforcement that the police department can actually charge somebody with that. So it's important that this ordinance get adopted. Anybody have questions about stop sign ordinance? Yes, sir.
I sent Tommy some corrections and I noticed one more after, so I don't know if that's something you want to adopt tonight or you want to defer it. but-
Yeah, thank you again. So what we'll do, and I recommend the board consider adoption this evening. We can prepare another ordinance if any were missed. Public Works deserves all the credit here. They were the ones that took the time to drive the roads and identify
Okay,
all the signs, and we'll ask them to double check. But if you could send those locations.
yeah, I'll email it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
We could just do another ordinance. If you're correct, we could just do another ordinance.
Just a quick question. I'm just confused by looking at the list, like Crescent Drive, there's 2 listings for it and direction of travel, southwest, southwest. Like, why would something be listed twice?
I guess the wrong
What page,
direction.
John?
First page. Yeah, first. Yeah.
Probably the wrong direction, I would think. Unless there's 2 stop signs on that road.
Yeah, is there one?
I'm not familiar with it
There
enough to
are.
know.
And I think Crescent is just that. It's U-shaped. So you've got one stop sign
That's it.
at this end, another stop sign at this end, and they both are in the same direction. And they're both on equal farms.
Right.
So
Okay, I don't even,
it's 2
Yeah.
separate
Thank you.
stop signs.
Just-
But I don't know how you determine how to identify it.
well, so looking at Black Horse Road has direction of travel east to Conestoga Pike and Pottstown Pike.
Right, but crescent is like a U, is it a U or a semicircle? So it,
Yes, it's a semicircle.
yeah, so it
Okay.
intersects with Eagle Farm twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know where the road is. It's just weird that it's on there.
And understand, we're not putting any new signs out.
Right, I'm
They're
just
existing
curious about the
signs
list.
that we're
Yeah.
just making
Not-
sure that we have them listed,
Yeah.
for enforcement.
I was just trying to understand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, any other questions or comments? I would suggest you entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 217-2025.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 13-2025.
Well,
Oh, no, wrong one. 217-2025.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. And we will follow up with another ordinance
We always add more.
for George, yep. We find more. Next up is resolution 13-2025 emergency management plan for West Vincent Township. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Our emergency management coordinator is here this evening, and so he can provide an overview of the plan and answer any questions.
Great. Want to come on up, Jim?
Yeah, the plan is the same as it's been for several years. It's just a readoption. Every 2 years, you readopt the plan. And we need that for FEMA to be qualified for funds if we have any issues. The only thing that's changed from recent plans is the date and some census data.
Any questions from anyone in the?
I'll just note one thing.
Mhm.
The resolution needs to have my name on it as opposed to Charlene's.
We can do that. Thank you very much for coming out. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to adopt resolution 13-2025.
I'll second that.
And since you already had an opportunity for public comment, I'm going to assume there is no further. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up is the bid award for the 2025 road program, which is listed in our packet here. Does anyone have any questions about that? No? You want to make a motion on that?
Still moved.
Second.
And that is, I just want to make sure that's clear. It's a motion to award a bid for the 2025 road program in the amount of $295,050.81 to Asphalt Maintenance Solutions LLC, Center Valley, New Jersey, and they are the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. So, we've made a motion, we second. No questions. I'm going to ask for a vote on that.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Okay, we would like to make a motion for depository user and signatory.
This would be.
What's that? Oh, the finance director. Okay, sorry. Okay, next up is the finance director, treasurer, and HIPAA compliance officer ratifications. Would you like to make a motion on that?
I'd like to make a motion to ratify the hire and appointment of Susan Gurton to the positions of finance director, township treasurer, and HIPAA compliance officer.
And I am thrilled.
Bet you are. Bet you are. Any questions at all? We did talk about her a little before, but do you have any questions?
You have to obtain a bond for the
Yes.
new treasurer.
Yeah.
Is that part of this?
It's already been done.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm thrilled to have her. And now we will get back to that depository user and signatory authorization so that she can be effective in her job.
I'd like to make the motion to appoint Susan Gurton as the authorized user of all township accounts at Victory Bank, S&T Bank, and Citadel Credit Union.
And I'll second that.
Are there any comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It also passes. And lastly, here on our agenda is the expenditure approval and ratification, which this is John's moment. He's been waiting for it. There's quite a few things here. Does anyone want to read this off, or do you want me to go ahead and read that? Okay, so this is to ratify, motion to ratify the payroll dated June 2nd for the pay period May 19th to June 1 in the amount of $63,075.57. Payroll dated June 16 for the pay period June 2 to June 15 in the amount of $166,518.06. General fund list of bills dated May 20th to June 16th in the amount of $343,931. Open space reserve fund list of bills dated May 20 to June 16 in the amount of $1,027.67. And capital equipment fund list of bills dated May 20 to June 16 in the amount of $13,916.04. So I think we motioned and second that. Is there a second?
Oh, no, you just read off the motion. So, yeah, I move to, as you said, to approve the expenditure approval and ratification.
And I'll second that.
Excellent. Do you have any questions on that?
I don't know what questions I can ask now. First of all, on the expenditures list, there's a lot of engineering charges with Roy Neff's name on it. I think he moved out 3 years ago, and there's been somebody in here 2 or 3 times since then about building permits, and that would be one thing. Back up to, I don't know whether you're going to go over income statements anymore. The income statement presentation this month is greatly improved. And I spoke to Tommy about it, and I'll probably meet with him later this week. I think it's important, though, that we emphasize income and expenses, or income. We've had $1.2 million of profit so far this year. And are we going to use that? Are we going to put it in the bank? I mean, normally we were just putting it in the bank and not giving taxpayers any return for the money. But that's the way it is. $1.2 million as through the end of May. That's in the various accounts, restricted and unrestricted, including liquid fuels. With one question, is that $295,000 a liquid fuels expense or capital roads, or, do you know?
It will be a liquid fuels expense.
Liquid fuels? Okay, because there's $600,000 in that account, 2 years worth, and we haven't done anything. Some of the accounts, like open space, it says there's $75,000 of legal expenses, and there aren't, if you want to look at it. So I think that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. And we did just award the roads bid, so that might use up some of those funds. Right.
So my comment is, as it usually is, it's on the formatting and detail on these reports, and we seem to have lost a little bit from the previous month's report. Are we not keying in the memo field or to describe checks in the bills list or something? Has something changed there, or are we doing less than we were?
I'm not sure.
No.
I think if I can answer that,
Sure.
I think the answer is you have a new person and she's using what I'll call the standard report. And before I stopped doing this, I customized the report to add the memo and take out some of these other items that are in here. So it's just a question of
Can we,
working with her to
can you transfer
get
that?
that back in.
So that's possible to transfer it over?
It's possible to get back in, yes.
Okay, I guess that's my primary question, and my other comment is I see, for like the engineering and legal invoices, there's some that have no memo on them. For example, LTL Consultants has a $6,000 or $9,000 and $11,000 check with no detail on it. So I think that's significant. I mean, there is detail on some of the other ones, which are much smaller amounts. So I think it's important that we know what those are.
I can tell you those two. One is Opalani and the other is the Fellowship Trail.
Okay. Well, I mean,
We'll add it.
yeah, that
That's
I
pretty
won't
much
even
all
have to
they're
ask.
working on for us now at this point, of getting those two things brought home.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And certainly, Jim's going to continue to help Susan, who seems to be not needing your help anymore, really, but that's great. We'll see if you can give her some guidance. So there's no one else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that is approved as well. I don't believe we have any new or old business from the board.
Nope.
We're going to move on to public comment. Anyone has a public comment?
Chief Jay Collins for Kimberlin Fire Company. The report's in the packet. I was missed on the other part. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming out.
Two things. Just to sort of add to John's comment. So on the agenda, it shows disbursements as a line and it shows financial reports. It wasn't clear as to when comment would come up for the income statements, the P&L, all those sorts of accounts. So in the future, if you could clarify when that is to be discussed. Like it looks like there's just a line for disbursement and a line for financial reports, but it didn't come up during financial reports. So in the future, if you could just let us know when the time for that was. Second thing is just letting people know that there's a resident of West Vincent Township who is currently participating in the College World Series, Dean Mijos of Black Horse Road, and the son of Sabrina and Ari, brother of Alex and Theo, and Coastal Carolina has won their first two rounds, and if they win Wednesday, they go to the Final Four, and I hope we all give them our support.
Oh, that's terrific.
He's 4 for 8 so far in the two games that he's played.
Thanks for sharing that. Just as you brought up about the reports, other than, the police and the fire and EMS that come out to report it, I mean, honestly, if we're not going to speak to them, can we not just lump the rest together? How do you feel about that? I don't know how other people feel, just give people an opportunity to come up and speak about all of them at the same time, or does it need to be separated like that? Do you have any opinions? No, okay.
They separate them to provide detail, so
Yeah,
folks see that.
okay. But that's the way we've been moving forward since Tommy's been on board, is that we're disclosing more. And we're giving you more time to review it, because he gets everything in by the Wednesday before the meeting. And you don't have to sit here and listen to us just read them. So we can discuss that further. Anyone else have any comments that they'd like to make for public comment? No, seeing that. I did want to just bring up that we are looking to have our next regular meeting is July 21st at 7 o'clock at the Township Building. That's our regular Board of Supervisors meeting. I think there's been some confusion too, because we always list two. We list the first and the third Monday. Third Monday is a given. We always have that meeting. That's our business meeting. If there's something going on, then we also do something on the first Monday. This coming August 7th, we expect to have a workshop. but, or July 7th, I'm sorry, July 7th, yeah. July 7th, so there will be two next month. And that one, just to give you a little heads up, will likely be traffic safety. Wanted to give a report of what's going on there. We will have a further discussion in detail of the burn ban with some FAQs from the DEP to talk about what our options are there and, you know, where we think we need to go with that. And then something also about the status of the EV charger. So that's what you can look forward to. And other than that, anyone else that I've overlooked? Any more questions? In that case, I'm going to motion. You got it. Thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you all for coming out.